Itoro Liney, thank you so much for coming on to the Data Strategy Show. 66 questions, Data Leaders Unplugged. Hey, Itoro, how are you doing?
Hi, Samir. Thank you so much for having me on.
Pleasure.
It's so exciting. As I said, I've been, so excited about this. Can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Well, I know through the preamble that you've blocked your day out for this and changed it all around. So yeah, absolute pleasure to have you on. So listen, I'm going to go straight into the questions. There's 66 of them. So they're rapid fire. So whatever comes to your mind, just say it. Don't dwell on it too long.
Okay.
Okay.
I
so
will
tell me,
it.
tell me, Itoro, how do you start your day?
Oh, how do I start my day? I start my day quite early. Well, most days. Well, I try to get up at 5 a.m.
Oh wow.
But
wow.
not all. I try, and then I have some kind of like me time, and then I like to spend some time doing some work. So I do, because I'm doing a part-time PhD.
Okay.
I tend to try to get maybe an hour or so before the house wakes up.
Before it explodes.
Before it blows up. Absolutely. So that's like a typical, my ideal day. Doesn't always happen, but that's what I aim for.
Wonderful, wonderful. And do you have a ritual, like a cup of coffee or something like that? That is, no, you're just up and...
No, I just, as long as I can get up and go, I'm happy.
Wow, that's good. That's really good. That's really good. So tell me, what's your biggest strength?
Oh, my biggest, well, which is probably also my biggest weakness, is being able to just take on quite a lot of things. I'm always busy. I've always got something on. I'm always doing something, one thing or another, which is great, and I absolutely love it. But I think sometimes I need to start thinking about saying no to some things.
You have to prioritize a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're one of those people who doesn't like to say no, takes things on, and then tries to juggle everything or spin the plates as much as you can.
Yeah.
Hoping.
Hoping it all kind of
comes
to works out. The thing is, I find so many things interesting, and I think, oh wow, that would be interesting to get to do or to be involved in, and I'll say yes, and then I think, oh, I shouldn't really have said yes.
Yes.
So, some stuff I need to work on.
I do a bit of that. I do a bit of that. So what's the biggest learning experience you've had to date?
Oh, the biggest learning experience. Oh, that is so good. I think it's being comfortable with what you don't know. So when I started my PhD, I was so insecure and like so intimidated. I was like, I'm not sure. I was convinced it accidentally admitted me into this.
And so what is the PhD? What's the title?
It's a PhD in computer. Sorry, let me get my words out. Computer science.
Okay.
I'm looking at ethics of machine learning.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So, but yeah, when you're in a room full of everybody else and you think, oh, they all know so much more than me. I'm the only one who doesn't know anything. I don't understand that, and I don't understand this. And somebody's going to work out that I'm an imposter. I shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And I had that in my mind for quite a while. But I think after a while, I got really comfortable in the sense that, okay, that's fine. There's some things that I know that others might not know.
Correct.
Some things that others will know that I don't know, and that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So it was just about me getting comfortable with that and going, that's okay.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I think it's quite difficult when we feel like we're in over our heads. But actually, once we start to see what's going on, we realize, oh, I know a little bit more than that person who I thought was, amazing. So yeah, I hear you. But it sounds like it's a really good PhD, because data ethics and ethics in machine learning is right up there at the moment. So you've got a good road ahead of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It is
wonderful.
really exciting.
Yeah, wonderful. So what apart from getting up at 5 a.m. in the morning, what would you say is your favorite time of the day?
Yeah, you know what? The morning actually isn't.
Right, right.
Yeah,
And that's what I
I
was
just
thinking,
yeah,
because it sounds like you just get up to have that time by yourself.
because I have to.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm more, yeah, I think afternoons are great. I think
Uh-huh.
that's when I kind of get into it. I think that's when I've kind of like woken up naturally and I'm kind of
Okay.
in the um
In the swing of things.
yeah,
Yeah,
ex-
yeah,
ex-
yeah.
exactly. So yeah,
Fantastic. Oh, I like that. So yeah, because there's very rarely on 66 questions do people talk about it being anything other than the morning. So the last two people I've had have actually said evenings and afternoons. So there
yeah,
are more people like you out there.
yeah.
So what's the one vice you wish you could give up?
Ooh, that's a good question.
There's so many, is there?
Um, maybe. Oh, what's the one vice I wish? Oh, do you know what? Do I actually wish I could give this up? I don't know, but I love shortbread and I just
You
consume,
love shortbread. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
and I consume an
Really?
unholy amount of
Oh my
that.
gosh.
So probably it's one of the things that maybe I need to cut down on. I don't think I want to
Wonderful.
give it up
Yeah,
completely,
yeah,
but
yeah,
maybe just be a bit
yeah.
more mindful.
Reduce it. I tell you what, it's very Moorish because of that buttery taste and
Oh
oh,
yeah.
it's so good. I haven't now my mouth, now I want to eat one. I haven't had one for ages.
Oh
Purely for those reasons, because when I was a kid, that's something that always used to be in my grandmother's biscuit tin. So
yeah.
we all it was I used to go, oh my God, shortbread. And we just
Yeah.
yeah, terrible.
I
But good.
haven't.
Very good.
Yeah.
What makes you angry?
Oh, what makes me angry? It's a good question. I think what makes me I'm trying to think of the last time I was angry and see. I wouldn't say angry, but what frustrates me is I'm very kind of go, 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 go.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so, yeah, so for me, it's anything that is slow or holding things
Right.
back or
Right.
like, come on
Yep.
now, let's just, let's
Yep.
do it, let's go. So, yeah, I would say that frustrates me.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And what's your best trait?
What's my best trait? I would say I'd like to think I'm a good listener.
Okay. All
I'd
right.
like to think that.
Yeah. Are you working on that?
It's something, yes, it's something I am working
I think
on,
we all need to, honestly.
active,
Yeah. Yeah.
active, active listening.
Yes.
So yeah, I would say I would also say my work ethic. I'm
Mm-hmm.
quite motivated and I'm quite
Mm-hmm.
like, right, if I've got stuff to do, I'm quite good with like, let's crack on, let's just
Yeah.
do it, I
Yeah.
give it all. So I would think my work ethic is actually quite high.
Oh, that's because you're a go-getter, right? That's because you want to get
Yeah,
everything done.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Time
so.
is
Yeah,
short, it sounds like. Itoro. It sounds like
I
time
know.
is short. You want to get so much done.
Yeah, I need more hours in the day.
Don't we all?
So,
So, what are you most excited about these days? What would you say is something that really, gets you up and inspires you?
what am I excited about? My PhD excites me, and I'll be quite honest. It's one of those things where you go through highs and then you
Yeah.
have them lows as well.
Hmm.
There are
Hmm.
times where you're absolutely not in love with it, and there are times you're thinking, "Why am I doing this? What's
Yes.
going on here?" And I've been through that. But right now, I'm on a high,
Oh,
and I'm
great.
learning stuff, I'm doing stuff, and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, this is cool, this is exciting. Maybe I could write about this or talk about this, so that for me is quite exciting right now.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I love that. And what's the best compliment you've ever received?
I can't think of one off the top of my head right now.
It's all right. If you don't know, you can always come back to it.
Yeah, we have to come back to that one.
What makes you smile the most?
What makes me smile the most? Oh, these are tough questions, Samir.
They're supposed to be. They're not really that tough.
Oh, what makes me smile? I think, right, it's my my kids, right?
Oh, cute.
Sometimes just watching them, they
Yep.
just come up with like the craziest things, and you're just thinking, how did you come up with that, or why are
Mhm,
you doing that? So
mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
they make me quite happy.
Yeah, wonderful,
Yeah,
wonderful. And how many do you have? You've got two?
I've
It's
got two.
two.
Got
Okay,
two.
good.
Yes.
And are they a pigeon pair? Are they a boy and a girl?
No,
No?
both are girls. They're
Okay.
completely opposite.
Oh, wow.
The older one is really chilled out. She's really calm. She's
Uh-huh.
really, just does everything that she's meant to do. The younger one is just, oh, yeah,
Wild.
yeah, complete opposite. Does her own thing in her own world, her rules, and
Wonderful. Hey, they've got to
yes,
be different. They've got
they
to be different.
do. They do.
So what's the one thing that people don't know about you?
What's the one thing people don't do? But then if I answer that now, they'll all know it,
Yeah,
right?
well, come on. There must be something.
Um, uh, right. I don't know if I can get my arms right over my head.
Right.
Like, I don't know how to say.
And then you can bend them back. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now, folks
Yeah.
won't actually see this,
No, they
but
won't.
Itoro just took her arms around her head all the way
Holding them
back
together. Yeah.
and then all the way to the front, it's a 360 basically, which is
Yeah.
extraordinary. So you're double jointed in your
Double
shoulders.
jointed.
Oh
That's it.
my
Yes.
goodness.
Yeah.
Right. Well, there you go.
Very flexible.
Yeah. Well, perfect. Very flexible. You could be a gymnast.
I could.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. What makes you feel most like yourself?
Can we come back to that one?
Okay. There's too many we're coming back to.
I know. I have to think. Okay.
Do you want to come back to that one then?
Yeah, maybe we have to come back to that
Yeah,
one.
okay.
For me, it's just chilling out, right? So in the
Right.
evenings, yes, in the evenings, the kids have gone up to bed. Husband and I just kind of chill out, eat
Yeah.
shortbread, a
Yes.
cup of tea, and maybe
Oh,
just relax.
very
So
English.
that's like, I know. I think, yeah, that's the favorite. Yeah,
That's when you feel
me through
in
and
your
through.
Zen state.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I actually I empathize with that because that's exactly how my wife and I feel after a full day. And it's just, let's just sit on the sofa. Maybe it's I have a cup of tea, maybe she doesn't, but we just chill out. Literally,
Yeah.
it's calm, and we'll watch something, and then that's that. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
relax,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, okay, we're going to come back to, well, we won't come back to that now. We'll still come back to the other question.
Yeah.
So what are the three things that you can't live without?
Oh, that's easy. And they're going to be so weird, right?
Okay.
Lip balm,
All right.
moisturizer,
Uh-huh.
and I need to think of one more, but right now I can think of those two, which
Okay.
the two things I always have on me
Okay.
constantly.
Wonderful.
And I just, can't do
Maybe
anything
number three. Maybe number
them.
three can be family.
Yeah. Family. Yeah. Let's just add them in.
So tell me, what's your current, if you have one, your current TV character obsession?
What are we watching right now? We're watching, Taskmaster. So yeah, I don't know who.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh right. Oh, you should watch it.
What is it?
It's a show where they get like a group of individuals to just do random, meaningless
Tasks.
task. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then award them on who's done it well.
Okay.
And sometimes it's not even an objective way. It's just a case of, I like that. So yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So there's no method to it.
There's no method to it,
okay.
but it's more of a comedy. It's just.
I see.
It's just
okay.
very lighthearted.
I'm going to write that down just to see what it is.
I'm watching Taskmaster. The other thing, I guess maybe the other thing I was obsessed with was SAS. Who
Dares wins.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I would say.
So is that the last show that you binge watched? Would you say, or is there anything else? Yeah.
That's the last
That's the
thing
last
that
show that
we
you binge watched.
binged.
Okay. Tell me,
Yeah.
what would you say is the most adventurous thing you've done in your life?
Oh, well, some might say moving across the world is adventurous. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
I do a lot of outdoor walking, hiking. Is that adventurous? Walked up the highest mountain
Well, that certainly is.
in Wales,
Yeah, yeah.
Snowdon. So maybe
Uh-huh.
that's adventurous. I haven't
That
done
really
anything
is.
crazy, but
Well,
yeah.
I tell you what, I did Snowdon when I was very young, and I think I shouldn't have done it when I was very young. And I had a very, I had a crazy cousin who basically one day said, right, we're going to go walk up a mountain. And I think I might have been 11 or 12, and he wasn't prepared for anything, and I wasn't prepared for anything. And it was pretty adventurous,
Yes,
and pretty scary at times.
yeah. See, that would be adventurous.
Yeah.
We prepped for this because we
Yeah.
walk a lot. So it
Right.
wasn't just like, right, let's just wake up and go and do this. We walk
Yeah.
consistently. So it wasn't really.
It wasn't,
that
but still,
adventurous for
that's
us.
good.
But
Yeah.
I
How would
guess.
you define yourself in 3 words?
Ooh. 3 words. I would say happy. I laugh a lot.
This is good.
People know me for laughing.
Yep.
I would also say hardworking. And I would also say family kind of oriented. Really,
yep.
really,
Yep.
yeah.
Wonderful. Really good. So do you have, or what is your most overused phrase?
That's very interesting. I was listening back to a recording I did a few weeks ago, and I noticed for the first time I say, a lot.
Aha. Okay. Yeah. Isn't that funny? You don't realize it until you actually see yourself.
Watch it back. Yeah. And I thought I need to stop doing that.
Okay. So, yeah. Perfect. Well, it was good timing for this question then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
I would say kind of enjoy the moment. Because I'm very go, what's next thing? What are we doing? Sometimes I don't really take time to enjoy the here and now.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah.
Okay. And I wonder, is your husband the opposite or
oh yeah.
Oh, he is.
in every
aspect, my goodness.
Everything you could think of, we're complete opposites.
That's the way it is, right? Because I think it's exactly the same way with my wife and I. She's like you. She has to have every minute of the day filled doing something.
Yeah.
And it's got to be relentless. And me, I'm just like, okay, enough now. We got to just chill out for a while,
Yeah, exactly. He's he's so chilled out. He's horizontal. He's just like, it'll be fine. Let's not worry about this. Let's just go with the flow. And I'm like, I need to know exactly this. Need to know we're doing it this way and this is happening. And complete opposite of us.
Yeah. And do you have a pet peeve?
Ooh. I don't know. I'm not sure.
No? Okay.
I can't think of one.
We can go on. That's fine. Do you remember the moment that your career completely changed?
Kind of. So I used to be an engineer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Back in the day, I used to be an engineer.
And what kind of engineer?
An electronic engineer.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay.
Actually a microelectronic engineer.
Well, I don't even know what a microelectronic engineer is.
So we used to make what we call integrated circuits.
Okay.
So yeah. The chips and stuff like that. And there was a time I was kind of going through like I should move on. I'd like to move on to do something else, and I wasn't quite sure what. But throughout all that time, one day our company got acquired, and it was
I see.
Oh,
Yep.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Reality is
Mm-hmm.
happening right now, and this
Mm-hmm.
doesn't look good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We're all
Mm-hmm.
going to kind of end up not
Yeah.
here in a
Yeah.
while.
Yep.
So yeah, that was the moment of right, gotta
Yep. And
crack on, get
yep.
into gear and two, and let's
Yep.
think of the next thing.
Wow. So that was actually a real kind of, it's, so either doing nothing or,
Yeah,
really changing it. You actually had a really moment of clarity, one would have thought, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was essentially the timer is on now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. What makes you feel the most accomplished?
Oh, it's a great question. I think it's to do with mentoring. I really
Okay.
like it when somebody I've kind of mentored, or they kind of come back and be like, oh look, I achieved this, or I got this job, or I did
Mm-hmm.
this, or I did.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that is so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Do you have any do you have any regrets? Like what's your biggest regret?
Funny enough, I can't think of one. And
Mm-hmm.
the reason is because I always am a risk. I always try and do the things that, even though, I'll just attempt it, because I'm like,
Yes.
I, it's better I attempt it and it doesn't work out. And then at least I'll know it's
Mm-hmm.
done and it was
Mm-hmm.
meant to be, as
Yep.
opposed to I never did that. So I can't
Yes.
really think of
Oh,
stuff
that's a
that I've
great ethos. I love that.
missed out on. Yeah, I
It's a
just go.
wonderful way to be, actually. So you'll get stuck into something, and if it doesn't really happen or work, or then
Yeah,
it's not meant to be, I guess.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least you gave it all your all,
Yes.
which is the good thing. Oh, I like that. So what makes you happy?
Family, my
Yeah.
kids.
Uh-huh.
Um, this is going to sound really odd. Food.
No, we'll come to food. We'll come to food later. Don't go into it now. What's heavily played on your music playlist right now?
Oh, right now, well, I've been listening to a collaboration with Ed Sheeran and a Nigerian artist called Peru.
Okay.
So I've been playing that over and over and
All
over
right.
again.
Okay. Oh, cool. What are the three things that are at the top of your bucket list?
Oh, great question. I want to walk up Ben Nevis,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
highest mountain. Yeah,
Yeah.
and so yeah, the highest, the mountains in England,
Yes.
and excuse me. Um, Sorry, I can't get my
That's all
words
right.
out.
That's all right.
Scotland.
Yes.
So I want to do some walks, some big walks.
Okay.
Bike ride to Europe. That's
Oh,
another
wow.
one.
That's
Yes,
cool. Yeah.
yes, I want to do a proper long bike ride
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
I think Europe. So that's
Uh-huh.
two. And I can't think of a third one
Okay.
right
No
now.
problem.
But yeah.
Tell me, what's your guilty pleasure apart from, is it just the biscuits, or do you have another guilty pleasure?
Oh, the biscuits are the top one,
They
I would
are.
say.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
there
food.
we go. That sits at the top. What book did you most recently finish?
What did I most recently finish? Oh, I've read quite a few books lately. I probably need to look back at my list, but the one I can think of off the top of my head is called Radical Candor.
Okay.
And yeah, so it's a book about being able to have the honest conversations, to be able to give feedback.
Yep.
But it's also
Yep.
having a um a relationship that allows you to be able to give that feedback in a way that is not
Too critical or
too aggressive,
mm,
or
mm,
so it
mm.
kind of gives you a way to um, deliver it in a positive way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I've just written it down. I
Yeah.
do like sound of that book. If you could go back in time, what would you
Mm.
tell your 16-year-old self?
Do you know what? I would tell my 16-year-old self to just explore more. Um, I've always been very, at that age was all about like academic,
Right.
going into the next thing, uni, work, and all that kind of thing. But I think, yeah, maybe I could have had like a year or two of doing other things, just doing something else. So
yeah,
I think, yeah, it could have been a bit more exploration.
okay, cool. And if you could switch lives with one person for a day, who would it be?
Oh, good question. Who would I switch lives with? I'm not sure, really. I don't know. I like my life.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I like that. So, I mean, we talked about, the adventurous stuff, but what's one thing you've always wanted to try, but you've been too scared to do?
I've got one, but it's really random. It's really out there.
No, go for it.
Something I've always wanted to do, and I think I still want to do it, is to actually get dreadlocks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But when I was younger, my mom was like, "Oh my God, don't do that! Like everyone will judge you, and so it's like you won't be able to get a job and all this kind of stuff." So I think that's
cool.
What,
that's cool. I like that. Yeah, that is. Yeah.
I might do it one day.
That's good. I think you'd be completely fine. I don't think anybody would judge you for that now.
Yeah,
I reckon.
Yeah.
So what's the most ridiculous fact that you know?
What is the most ridiculous fact that I know? Do you know what? After this call, I'll probably come up with
something
with 100, and I'll kick myself.
It often stumps people. Especially data people, which is hilarious.
I know. There's always something that I think, why do I know that?
Exactly.
Like, what's the point in knowing that?
There's
absolutely no point in that.
Yeah.
I can't think of one.
Don't worry. Okay. If you could resurrect one person from history and put them in the world today, who would it be?
It would be, I would say, who would it be? Oh, this is a tough one, Samir. I would say maybe the first name that came to my mind was Marie Curie.
Oh, wow. Why is that?
A scientist, woman, long time ago. What was her world like? What was, just, it would be great to just watch and just see what, her day to day and all that kind of, what her life was like. If nothing else, just for like.
Well, it would be quite amazing for her to see what the world was like today.
Well, true.
Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah. Great. What's the one thing you wish you knew at the age of 19?
Oh, yeah. So the one thing I wish I knew at the age of 19 was that there's so many different routes to end up in the same place. I always thought everything was quite like a linear thing. You got your education, you got a job as an engineer, you did this and you did this and you did this, but that's not what it's like. There's so many avenues, there's so many routes, and I wish I'd kind of known that, and then I could have maybe.
I'm going to ask you a question now, because I think from what you've said, that's a very cultural thing, because it sounds like exactly the way I was brought up. You must do this, then you must do that, and your life must be done accordingly, in this specific manner. And that's the only thing that I always thought was, the right way to do it. It's so true. So it must be cultural.
It is cultural. It is heavily cultural. Absolutely.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that one for sure. So if you weren't living in the UK, where would you be living?
Oh, it's a great question. I'm probably America.
Yeah.
Yes, I had the option to go to America to do my undergraduate.
Right.
I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I could have ended up there. And yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
In this day and age, I'm not too sure I'd be living
I
in the US, but
know.
it's a tough place to be, I think.
Yeah, I think I made the right call to come to the UK.
I'm sure all the American listeners are going to be saying,
Yeah.
Samir, what are you talking about? So, if you could offer one piece of advice to upcoming data leaders, what would it be?
Oh, upcoming data leaders. What I would say is think about the needs of the organization, not the wants, but the needs. And I think it's all about, there's so much noise out there, there's so much stuff going on out there, and it's about drowning all that out.
Yep.
And thinking you don't have to go for like the coolest thing, the loudest thing ever, sometimes a simple option is good enough. And I think that's the kind of advice I would give to up and coming leaders.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic
noise
advice
out there.
yeah, absolutely. Know the needs, know the why before you actually get to the what, and their wants. No, absolutely. I agree with that. Where's the best vacation you've ever taken?
Oh, this is so good. Well, I've done quite a few good ones. Oh, this is so tough. I would say, well, UAE keeps just, that's
popping
the first
up.
one that came to my mind. Yeah, I really enjoyed my time there. Dubai.
Any particular place, or is that Dubai?
Dubai.
Right.
I just like the whole kind of like chill out type thing. I also, on the opposite side, massively enjoyed my time in Barcelona.
Okay.
And it was quite hectic, we did a lot of walking around.
Yeah, well, it's a walking place.
Yeah, churches and all whatnot.
Oh, yes.
And it was so, we were exhausted at the end of it, but I absolutely loved it. So two completely opposite.
Yeah, one chill, one crazy one.
Yeah.
What's one city you've always dreamed of traveling to?
I'd like to go to, and I don't even know why, but I think I'd like to go to Copenhagen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I was speaking to some people about that the other evening. Very expensive, but beautiful city, they say.
Beautiful. Yes.
Yeah.
And cycling as well.
Oh,
yeah.
I
think it would just be gorgeous.
What was the best lesson your parents ever taught you?
Oh, do you know what? There's so many, and I can't even I can't even think of one right now. I think it was just always, it's more of a values thing about knowing who you are and doing what is the right thing.
Yep.
Just staying true and honest. And I think for me that's quite important, no matter what the outcome is. I think it's important to remain
and remain true to yourself. Yes, absolutely. Sage advice. Very, very sage advice. So now coming to the question that you were going to talk about earlier, what is your favorite food?
Oh, my favorite food. My favorite food. So, do you know what? There's so many. I love lasagna.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'd have it anytime, any day, anyway.
Yep.
But my favorite is a Nigerian meal called ekpang nkuko.
Okay. Okay. And so, what is that?
So it's made from something called cocoyam, which is like it's a root
vegetables.
Yeah, exactly, vegetables. So it's kind of peeled, grated, and it's like a doughy type thing.
Right.
And
I
then
think.
it's cooked.
Yeah,
and then you
okay.
cook the dough, but with
Yeah.
lots of things with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. I think I might have tried that actually. Does it become quite gooey?
Yeah, a bit. Yeah.
A bit.
It
Yeah,
becomes a
maybe I
bit
tried it.
gooey.
Yeah, maybe I tried it.
Yeah.
So sorry, go ahead.
No. It's fine. It's just one of the things that I absolutely
And
love.
do you make that, or do you not make that at all? No,
I don't make it. So
Aha.
it's one of those things that I only have once in a while when I
Yeah.
go over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, so not cooking that at home for your kids. No.
No.
So tell me, and everybody says yours, Samir, but you know, let's put my podcast out of the list right now. But what's your favorite podcast?
Like all in all, or in
all in, you know, something that makes you
data.
Well, anything. It doesn't need to be
Right.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love listening to the Huberman podcast. So this guy he's a neuro scientist.
Okay.
Called Andrew Huberman.
Okay.
And he does a lot of work to kind of understand how the our brain works, and a lot of times how it links with like exercise and things like that. So they are really insightful and very interesting.
Okay.
They are quite lengthy though. So it's kind of a hard one to kind of listen to.
So when do you listen to those?
Go. Well, it takes me ages to get through one episode, because it's like, listen to a bit, I'll come back to it. So yeah, that's one I listen to. And then lately I listen to the women in data podcast. So those are the two podcasts
Fantastic.
that I have on. I'm also thinking of listening to what's his name, Stephen Bartlett's one.
Oh yes, the CEO, the
CEO, I think Diary of
a CEO. Yes, I've listened to that as well. Yeah, it's not bad.
But
they're very nice, short, sharp. Yeah,
right. That's what I need, because I haven't got much time.
So apart from the cycling and apart from the walking and apart from listening to podcasts, is there anything that you do just to relax? Just to chill out?
So I just like hanging out like outside in our garden. Just hanging out on the trampoline or
oh, cool. That's not really relaxing. You've been jumping up and down.
Well, not as much as the everything kids, but anything kind of chilled out. And then, as I said, in the evenings, just cup of tea, short bread, maybe watch something. So just to kind of unwind. So
what's a movie that made you cry?
Oh, I'm sure there's loads, because I cry. But well, there's one that made everyone cry.
Go on. Which one?
Titanic. So going
Titanic.
Back in time. So I'm trying to think of more recently what's made me cry recently. I'm sure there must be something. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But to be very fair, I haven't watched anything lately. Movie lately.
Okay. So
tricky.
Who would you say is your biggest inspiration?
Who's my biggest inspiration? Do you know what? So many, because if I look back at like my my parents, for instance, my mum went back and did her PhD in her 40s. So that's quite inspirational to kind of go back and do that years later. So that's quite huge.
Wonderful.
So I would say, yeah, she is quite, to me, inspirational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I'll
I
go
love that. I love that.
my mum.
What? Yeah, your mum. What's the one talent you wish you had?
What's the one talent I wish I had? So not really useful for anything that I need to do, but I wish I was a singer. Like I wish
Okay.
I could sing,
Brilliant.
but I'm really rubbish. I
Do you
can't
go out and do
hold.
karaoke then?
Do you know what I do? But
You do?
I'm absolutely rubbish at it. I would
I
totally
love
do
it.
it and sing, but everyone else will think, oh, I wish she wasn't doing that. So,
Great.
yeah.
What's the one data trend that you dislike?
Oh, that's a really tricky question. One data trend that I dislike. I can't even think of any data trends right now. Can I just ask, do you ask this to like everyone else?
I asked this to everybody.
Should I have gone back and listened to all the maybe this is what I needed to do, just go back and listen to all the episodes.
What? I don't know, just think of all the trends that people are talking about now. Is there anything that you're thinking, God, it's a bit too much? Or
what I really dislike is all the whole tools. It's either it's going from data lake to data mesh to data this to data that. There's a lot of focus on tools and which isn't really what we ought to be thinking about.
Yep. I agree.
As opposed to what's the best way to just get from point A to point B. The other pointless one that I hear around a lot is R and Python.
Oh, R and Python, yeah.
I'd rather use this, I'd rather use that. Not really important, which one you use, as long as you're doing the job that you're meant to do. Then there's also another thing. Do you know what? Now I'm going.
Now that you're thinking about it, go for it. Do it.
Now I'm going to reel off all the things that annoy me. And then the other thing that I really don't like is all the kind of, oh, you need to know this and you need to do this and you need to do that and you need to do that. So it's almost a bit of like gatekeeping.
Right.
It makes it harder for those who haven't got like experience.
To actually get somewhere and to get further on in their career.
Absolutely. And don't get me wrong, I agree to an extent. You should have a level of competence in
what you do.
What you do, but I think there's kind of like a fine line between waiting till you know everything and kind of attempting stuff as you go along.
Sure.
Okay,
that's cool.
A few others. I'll park it there because the other ones get more controversial.
Okay. Well, we can have a whole new episode just on that. So, slightly lighter question then. Do you have a favorite band?
Favorite band? Do you know what? I do. I have a few. They're a bit old.
Go for it.
Old. I can't get the words out. So there's an Irish band called The Corrs.
Okay, yes, the sisters.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
I really like them.
Okay.
Then there is, I can't remember the name now of the band. There's a German synth pop band, which I'm trying to, Alphaville.
Okay.
I think that's their name. But
okay.
I can't remember that. I really like. I like a song that they did. Yes. But more recently, I can't think of one more recently. But yeah.
Well, yep. No, absolutely. I like that you've actually got some really eclectic mix of music, but I think that's good to have. So what's a superpower you wish you had?
Superpower I wish I had. I wish I could read people's minds.
Oh, Wow.
Yes,
That is something.
that would
That
be so
is something.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No one said that yet. No one has said that yet. That's cool. What's something you don't want to be doing in 10 years?
Ooh, what's something I don't want to be doing in 10 years? I, I don't know. Well, to be fair, anything I don't want to be doing in 10 years is something I probably don't want to be doing now, maybe.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
That's cool.
Think of
That's
any.
cool. What's the best thing that happened to you this year?
Oh, so right, there's quite a few, but number one, I passed my PhD upgrade exam this year.
Well done.
Now, you know
Congratulations.
what? That was such a difficult moment for me because I'd spent so much time worrying about it. I worried so much
Mm-hmm.
about it. I didn't want to do the upgrade exam because I was so intimidated. I thought I'm gonna fail, but
Yep.
then I did quite well. So that
Well
was a
done.
massive high for
Yep.
me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So
Brilliant.
yeah.
That's great. Well done on that. Which movie makes you laugh the hardest?
Um, I can't think of a movie that makes me laugh the hardest, but I can think of a clip,
Okay.
a
Go ahead.
YouTube clip that makes
Uh-huh.
me laugh.
Uh-huh.
Like, and it's maybe 5 years old now, but
Uh-huh.
every time I watch it, I cry
And
laughing.
which one is it?
And this is pre-lockdown and when working from home was, a normal thing.
Yeah.
But there was a BBC interview with a professor in like South
Oh,
uh,
yes. Yeah. Yeah.
in Korea, and
Yeah.
when his kids kind of come in, and
Yes. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know what? I watch it every time, and I laugh so hard every
Brilliant.
time,
Brilliant.
like it's the first time I'm
Time you've
watching
seen
it.
it.
But it's brilliant,
Yep.
absolutely brilliant.
Yep. Yep. Great. Do you believe in second chances? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your greatest talent?
My greatest talent. Do you know what? I would just say my work ethic, because I think
Yeah.
my work ethic got me in places that I wouldn't have. So,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
example, I think I made a first class when I did my undergraduate,
Mm-hmm.
in electronic engineering.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't because I was the individual who just like turned up to exams and it was
Right.
all so easy. That was
Yeah.
because I put in so
The
many
time.
hours every
Yeah. Yeah.
day, day in, day out. I did the work consistently. So I think for me that is it's a talent.
Yeah. Great. That is your greatest talent. And yeah, absolutely. What three words best describe your leadership style?
I would say authentic.
Mm-hmm.
I think with me, you know exactly where I am, you know
Mm-hmm.
exactly what I think, what I
Yep.
feel, I'm very open and authentic in that
Mm-hmm.
way.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would say direct, which also links back
Okay.
to that. I think you're never kind of unsure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I always have that open,
Yeah.
yeah. And I would say, what's the other thing? I'd like to say empathetic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant. So currently, what are your top three data challenges?
Um, in From what perspective now? Is that from
From your work perspective, what are your current, top what from where you work, what you're experiencing are top three data challenges that exist for you?
so I think generally, and I think this goes across like everywhere, and I think um being able to collate, synthesize, get everything in where you want it at the right place at the right
Mm-hmm.
time, getting the
Mm-hmm.
access, making sure it's all fit for what you want to do. And I
Yeah.
think everyone's um everyone experiences this, and
Yeah.
even as part of my PhD, it's
Mm-hmm.
one of the biggest
Mm-hmm.
things where pull data from here. How do I get
Yeah.
data from here? How do
Yeah.
I mix it all together and all that
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a think a challenge. The other challenge I would say, again, if you look at the market right now, is the people. You know, the market right now is so hot, and people are kind of moving around, and everybody's trying to find the right skills. So essentially, hiring is, I think, a challenge
a
right
real
now
challenge for people.
in the
True.
industry.
Yeah.
And then I would say the third thing is on trading off between the needs of right now and the needs of
the future.
the future. So I think that's always a big thing, because what do you do now, and is it the right thing? Will it be, how long is that good in, how long is that good in enough for, versus, okay, let's start to work on this thing now, but actually it won't be useful for another maybe 2 years, or you know. So it's that kind of trade-off. And I think, again, all the things I've said, a lot of organizations will relate to those things.
I agree. What are the 3 words that best describe living in the UK?
I would say what's the word I'm looking for? Like, not honest, but something like, it's what you see is what you
what you see is what you get.
Yes. And I really kind of like that. The humor, I just love. It's just, the things we talk about, the things we do, the things, I really like that. And I like the outdoors in the UK. I think we've done that, you know.
No, it's interesting, because I think where you live, you have access to really quite impressive places. So, you know, being in London, the minute you get out into the country and you get out, well, I prefer the mountains as opposed to the countryside. So for me, being somewhere like that is much nicer. And there's so much in the UK that I take for granted, no doubt, for the last, you know, God knows how many years. So what's the one thing you learned the hard way?
What's the one thing I learned the hard way? I can't think of that. I'm not, do you know the thing, right? I'm not very good with like instant answers. I'm one of those where the answers come back to me later. So yeah, maybe I should have thought about these things before. But yeah, maybe I have to come back to that one, because I'm sure there's things I've learned the hard way.
How do you handle pressure in your career?
It's a good question. I tend not to overthink it. You know, I'm very, again, I'm very open and direct. So if I feel something doesn't work for me, or it's too much, I'm very comfortable to call that out and just say, hey, this isn't, you know, this doesn't work for me, or can we change things around? So that's just the way I deal with that. I just say,
makes sense. You just attack it head on, and you don't leave it for, you know, lingering. Which is, I think, the best way to be in your career. Especially, there's lots of pressures out there that we have to deal with, but if you can just not let that pile up, I think it's a very, very good advice. What did you want to do with your life at the age of 12?
I thought I was going to be a medical doctor.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I had it all kind of planned out in my head. But that wouldn't have worked out well.
And what's something you still like to learn?
What's something I still like to learn? Maybe to play an instrument.
Any particular one?
Guitar. I like the thought of, but I don't know if I would.
Well, there's still time.
It's still
There's still
time.
time.
It's still time.
I think I know the answer, but actually, let's see. So
Ooh,
you're stuck on an island. You can
okay.
pick one food to eat forever without getting tired of it. What would you eat? I think I know the answer.
We know the answer to this one. Yeah, well, can I have two? Because I can have like a main course and
Okay, go for it. You can have a main
so
course
yeah,
as well.
yeah. So the main course would be ekbang nkuko, and then
Okay,
after that I'd have shortbread to
shortbreads.
have
Yes. No,
afterwards.
I
Yeah.
knew it.
So see, yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. And if you want to go back to that question, what's the best compliment you've ever received?
What's the best compliment that I've ever received? Oh, I'm so bad at this because I can't really think of one.
That's fine. Don't worry. That's absolutely fine. I'm not going to put you on the spot, but Itoro Liney, I've had such a great time speaking to you. It's been fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on to the Data Strategy Show. And I wish you a really good weekend, whatever you do, biking, walking in the mountains or just chilling out in your garden. So enjoy it. Thank you so much.
Thank you
My
very
pleasure.
much. I've really had a great time
Yeah.
on this the show. So yeah,
Wonderful.
really happy. Thank you.
No, thank you
Have a
so
great
much.
day. All right.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.